Okay, here we are. Set number one. You call the play.
I'll call the play. Steve and I met on, actually, we met on eHarmony. And what happened was we wrote each other about our meditation practices and we didn't scare each other off. So when I met Steve, one of the things that he said to me was that we needed to do a project together. We needed to do something that involved giving back and something to do with kids.
Yeah, because since we weren't going to have children,
Yeah.
it had to have be a meaningful project.
So a meaningful project. And within the first year of us being together, we were piloting a program called Learning to Breathe at a high school in Toronto. And in the process of piloting this program, we also became MBSR facilitators and we started teaching mindfulness. And I know that for me, my background is I came from India. I spent 15 years studying yoga and meditation, living in the Himalayas. I've been trying to get contemplative practice into education since I came back, which is now about 18 years. And what I found was in the course of trying different things was delivering mindfulness to teens was really a calling. And working with Steve on that project was amazing. Why don't you talk about what it was like for you teaching that project? We were real pioneers. We were at Richview Collegiate. We had 240 grade 9 students. I had the girls. Steve had the boys. So they had them in the gym, and there was this big sliding door, and they slid the door, and I had my girls. All my girls, the yoga mats were set up perfectly, the blankets were folded, everything was totally organized. Steve, describe your side of the gym.
Well, the boys would come in and they notice the yoga mats. And the first thing they do is they take them and use them as lightsabers. And so the boys would actually have these duels with each other. And that would release some energy. Then I ring the bell and then we come into circle. But it was a little different getting the boys settled with their energy, particularly with this project. It traumatized me for 9 years.
It took Steve a lot of years before he would do grade 9s again. But what it did was it gave us actually a lot of experience in what to do and what not to do. So for example, in this pilot project, because it was part of a research study, they decided that no teacher should be in the room, which we learned was not a really great idea because first of all, nobody knew what we did. And that way, after the 6-week program was over, we left and nobody continued it. There was no sustainability. So a year later, a friend of Steve's, Heidi Walk, who's a mindfulness teacher in Toronto, was invited to deliver a program at a school in Scarborough because the the social worker of the school had taken the MBSR program and thought, hey, this is really good. It would work for students. And students at RH King were showing up at guidance saying that they had levels of high stress and anxiety. And they wanted some strategies. So Heidi Walk didn't do teens, so she found Steve, and Steve and I designed a program called The Mindful Edge. And the tagline on that one is stress reduction and life strategies for teens. And Steve and I, that program has been part of the leadership program at RH King now for 9 years. And 120 grade 11s get to take this program every year. And a lot of them, the feedback that we get on that program is that it's probably the most valuable thing that they got in high school.
The first year at RH King, it was a community program, so it was an after-school program. And we had 25 kids and 5 teachers that showed up, and it was pretty consistent. It was great that teachers and the students were doing it together, and they were so impressed by it that they wanted us to continue, and so it was they decided to put it part of the curriculum in the leadership curriculum.
Yeah. So what we learned from that one, though, that was very interesting, is that we learned, first of all, to be a third-party service person that goes in and delivers a program in schools is great. But if you're not changing the culture of the school itself, then it's not going to be sustainable. So this is where the approach that we've evolved through this charity that we formed, which is called Mindfulness Everyday, is that you have to involve the adults that are involved in the lives of students. So we deliver programs to parents and to teachers and to educators. We do a lot of mindful parenting workshops. And the design of this is to try to support. If you're going to deliver a program to the students, then you have to deliver it to the adults in their lives, because the way that kids learn is they learn by seeing these qualities that we want to see embodied. Which leads us to our approach about mindfulness. You know, lately mindfulness has become the new McMindful. It's everywhere. And often mindfulness is equated with paying attention to the breath. And our vision of mindfulness is it's a quality that you bring into the things that you're already doing, because everybody's too busy, nobody has time for one more thing. But it's an attitude that you approach your life with. And this attitude of being present in the present moment, just being with the ups and downs of life as it happens, has been shown with research to be extremely beneficial for health and wellness.